all set, Joe?
We should be live. Perfect.
All right, 6:58.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right,
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At our last meeting, we passed a resolution to conduct a public hearing to receive comments concerning the revocation of a towing license. This would be on November 27th tonight at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall. I'll ask for a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. I'm going to wait just 2 minutes here until our town clerk gets situated.
The TV is waving,
Pardon me?
Jesus, I don't know what that means.
You get set up, I'll see, I'll jiggle a few wires. It's all system.
Leslie, see if you can get June on your phone. There, you got your phone?
What's that?
See if you can get June.
Madison?
No, June, not June, Jean.
Jean on the phone?
Yeah. Ask her if we're broadcasting.
If we're broadcasting that? And the sound is going in and out, she said.
Yeah, I'm getting that message too from someone at home.
Okay, thank you.
Sound's not working.
Our regular camera operator is in the hospital. Jean, we're trying to call you.
Sound's out, going in and out.
Yeah, we just, yeah. Put it on this. You approve the minutes, is that what you did?
Didn't do anything yet.
Oh,
Well, we just opened the public hearing.
okay. Sound on.
Sound's on, picture's on?
Oh, well done.
Rose's helping, thank you at home. Appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, the public hearing is open. I'm going to ask our attorney, Justin Ryder, to conduct the public hearing.
Certainly, thank you, Supervisor. The attorney for the revoked license holder is here, and if he wants to begin with a statement, or his client may make a statement.
I would, thank you. My name is Hebner, Ralph Hebner. I'm an attorney. My office is down in Stony Point. I'm here to address, we've been here 4 times now, so I appreciate this hearing this evening. I'm here to discuss the revocation of a license to my client, okay, for a towing license. Okay, I've set forth some of these facts before, but I want to recite them very briefly. A towing license was issued to William Salerno, D&K Towing, who's with me this evening, on April 21st, 2023. It's April 21st. Right after he received his license, he consummated a lease that he had, which was a requirement that he have a yard here in town, which he did at 1424 Route 9W in Highland Falls. He was also required to have the chief of police go and visit as well, which he did, to give any comments as to what the situation was with the yard, if there's any recommendations. There was a recommendation that some additional fencing or gating be put up, and he promptly did that. As I said, he signed this lease on May 2nd, which was after the license was issued. And then, 17 days later, at your May 8th meeting, there was a motion that was made by Mr. King. It was unanimously passed to now reduce the licenses down to 2. Now, I respectfully suggest to the town board here, you should have known that there was another license that was issued, and the supervisor acknowledges that because he acknowledges the clerk to contact the third licensee, which is my client, to tell him the license has been revoked. Certainly unfair what you did. You issue a license, he complies with all requirements, does nothing wrong, and of course, it's revoked at your board meeting. A couple of things I want to point out, and I do this respectfully, okay? We all know what the law says, we know what licenses are, we know what the town has its sole responsibility to do the numbers, but you can't negatively affect people who've done nothing wrong and have complied with your town requirements. And I noticed from your town board minutes that I got a copy of, I only see one situation where it says that, this is the May 8th meeting, it says, Councilmember King made a motion, seconded by Councilmember Sullivan, to confirm prior board discussions. Well, what were those prior board discussions? I don't see anything on the record that shows prior board discussions. I mean, was that done in the open? I don't see it. Maybe it's somewhere that I couldn't find it. Okay, which intended to set the towing licenses for the town at 2 licenses. Once again, this town deals a lot of big issues. You had the flood back in July 9th, understand all that. What was the motive, okay, to reduce from 3 to 2 after you had just issued a license to another person and he expended all of that money, okay, to comply with your requirements? You never had a chance to get to work here. And I think it's unfair. I think this town board has, in the town, on behalf of the town, I think you have an obligation to reimburse my client for all of his expenses, because there's nothing wrong that he did. And we can't work it out this way. Well, you know, I've got contact with your attorney, who's done a very good job in having communications with me, and we'll have further discussions. That's all I can tell you. But clearly, something happened. I don't know what it was. But an attorney for 37 years, not attorney work, it's common sense. Something happened that my client was issued a license, and then there were some discussions which are unrecorded, and suddenly my client is out. And after he's told you what he's expended and what he's lost, can't be returned to him, okay, there seems to be there's no settlement to this matter. So I thank you for your time. I said, and, you know, we'll talk again, because this is an important matter to my client.
Certainly. Thank you. Anyone in the public who would like to comment on the revocation of this towing license? So you could have a motion to
Thanks for a
close.
motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried, thank you.
Just before you go into the regular meeting, Supervisor, I don't believe there's anything else on, you're obviously free to stay. I don't
Right,
believe there's
understand.
anything else is on the agenda pertaining to this matter, just so you know.
Is there any public comment on agenda items only? Agenda items only. Okay, approval of the previous minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the previous minutes?
Motion.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Communications. I got this today. Good day, elected leaders. There's going to be a parade on December the 16th, leaving from Buffalo Soldiers Field at 4:45. they're going to line up at 4:45. The parade steps off at 5 p.m. That's on December the 16th, which is a Saturday night, which I cannot make it. Is there any or all of the rest of the town board able to make it? Yeah.
4:30?
Quarter to 5, and the parade steps off at 5. And they would also, it's going to end up similar to what Ty has done before at Memorial Park. And if anyone would like to speak, they'd like to know about it. Ty, how about you?
Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be there? You're going to speak too?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. You can give my regrets. Okay, I transferred $66,443 into the paying account. Larger items are first response restoration mold remediation, $12,378. New York State Comptroller court fines, $5,941. Diesel fuel, $5,887. O&R for electric, $5,016. Beacon Recycling, $4,257. Taylor Environmental Soil Testing at Brooks's Park, $3,475. Any questions on town board on that?
No.
Board liaison reports. Start out,
Going my way?
go your way.
Thank you, sir. Well, post-Thanksgiving, hope everybody had a good one. Probably one of the best Thanksgivings ever, but like talking about with MJ, the commuting was not fun, but that's so be it. It was worth it. Anyway, as Bob said, the parade's coming up. I don't know if anybody else was going to talk about the holiday hop, Ty, or I'm going to start out. Town of Highlands, Crafty D, they're doing the second annual holiday hop. It's coming up this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And basically you pick up a hop card on December 2nd in the morning, and you bounce around to different businesses between Fort Montgomery and Highland Falls. You can get a stamp, no purchase required. And then you have to submit your card by the end of the day. And I believe there's a TV that's being given away by the youth group. Sorry, they're inundated me with 4 pages of notes, but we'll post this. What's that? Oh, D, come up to the mic. Why, instead of me just blasting through this with everything you sent me, why don't you give us, is that all right? Just come on, give us a little synopsis. Tell everybody what's going on and where they can find this information. And do we have this hanging in the window?
Yes,
Okay.
you guys were the first ones. Hi, everyone, I'm
Thank
Dee
you.
Dee. Yes, we're having our version of Small Business Saturday with a holiday twist, because we're including all businesses, organization, clubs, churches, anybody who's having something happening on that Saturday. And I was just giving Joe a little bit of a synopsis of the different businesses so far, and we still got more calling today. So I got state troopers wanting to go on board for both the parade and the hop. We have some new businesses coming into town. I already sent Bob the information and for the open, and we have the new restaurant that's opened up. They're also on the hop. So we're just trying to gather as many hop spots, I guess, as we can. We actually have more than enough, but everybody still wants to be a part of the hop, so we're still letting them. So everybody.
Still growing.
It's still growing, yes.
Okay, good.
So we're gonna post. We're gonna give the newspaper, you guys, everybody, the map ahead of time, and then we'll have the hop cards with the map on the back. So we're gonna have Dial-A-Bus. Thank you to the town and to Tiffany for coordinating. And they're gonna take everybody from Highland Falls to Fort Montgomery and back and forth for that period of time. And, hopefully it'll be a nice event. We're still looking for volunteers. We're going to have, I've spoken to the mayor, and we're going to have the senior center, since we don't have enough volunteers to run an activity per se, or like a event over there. We're going to have it as a respite. So we're going to decorate it. We're going to have games and puzzles and things on the table, some refreshments, and the Dollar Bus can drop off seniors as a break and then take them back out again. So the senior center will be kind of like a respite. We're also going to have a couple of different businesses in Fort Montgomery too, so it'll be really nice to get Fort Montgomery involved in some little town of Highlands fun here.
Well, as you said, it's a twist, it's a holiday twist in our community on the business, how'd you say it?
Business, organizations, churches, and groups.
Okay. And where will people pick up the hop card?
They'll pick them up at Hop HQ, which will be at my store, 260 Main Street, which is right next door to the town.
And they can pick up the hop card starting at 8 a.m.?
Yep,
And until?
because Andy's is open at 6, and they're a hop spot.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
They're
good.
going to have Grinch pancakes, basically, offering to all the families. We're going to have a couple of specialty vendors coming out. Sullivan Sensory Shop, she has a giant demonstration that she's going to have kids to allow and play in, but also sell her sensory kits as well. We're going to have Jitani's Bakery. They came out and donated the baked goods for the, when we did the First Responders Day at the baseball field out at Roe Park. So they're going to come with their baked goods again. They were also here back in Valentine's Day. And like I said, we have the state troopers, I think a couple of Legionnaires. Oh, the Legion, I don't want to forget about that. They're going to have a Winter Wonderland. And John, the commander over there, is getting his Legionnaires over there to do kind of like
So
a...
sell the Facebook spot.
Yes.
What would people look for on Facebook and then
It's
find all
listed-
this information you're
Yep,
talking
it's
about?
listed as a Facebook event at the second annual Town of Highlands Holiday Hop.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
Dee. All right,
thank you.
good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Dee, for everything you
Yeah,
did.
thanks for stepping up. Thank you, Olga, for pointing. Dee was hiding in the back. The only other thing is, down in Fort Montgomery, the leaf collection will start picking up again this week. And so hopefully, not too much rain.
They missed it today because they
All right.
had a shortage of personnel, we'll say.
Okay.
But they'll be out again tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow? Okay.
Yep.
Thanks. All right, that's it. Thank you, sir.
King?
I can only think of one thing for now is Saturday, the December 2nd, that's this coming Saturday, is the wreath laying ceremony over at the West Point Cemetery. And so I'm there for the last 2 years laying wreaths on the Buffalo Soldiers' graves, Sergeant Matthews and my uncle and others. So I think that's a good event to promote. I see some folks from the town there usually. And so I just want to talk about that for a second. But other than that, I don't think I'll have anything.
Okay. Councilman Sullivan?
That's it, Ty?
That's it for me today, so you got the rest of my time.
I don't need much. The ZBA, they met on the 15th, as they always do on the third Wednesday of the month. Deputy Chairman Joe Murphy officiated over the meeting as Jack General was away. They set a public hearing for next month on a property on Mearns Avenue. Planning? You weren't at the planning meeting, were you? Oh, you were. Okay, sorry about that. They met on the 16th. I attended. Philip was in recertification school, so I conveyed the happenings at that meeting to Philip right after it was over with. There's a property on Mine Dock, which was before them, which recently was granted a variance and is moving forward. Water. As you all know, the hydrants are recently flushed. And at the last meeting, I reported a broken Schedule 80 44-inch plastic pipe in the Corbin Hill Water Building. That is being handled as an emergency, and ductile iron pipe will be going back in there to prevent this. This is the second time this has happened in this calendar year in that building. And with the water, if you look at Ion Water, a year ago, we had 102 cellular meters not reading. We're down to 17, and 198 are reporting, so we only have 17 left to go. And then we have the radio reads that we're going to be replacing. So we have 209 cellular meters, there's 109 radio meters, and 121 with no meters at all, meaning people aren't hooked up or not using it. And as Bob discussed at the last meeting, if you're in a water district 1 or 2, you're still going to pay a point, whether you're hooked up and using or not. So I can tell you, as someone that had 2 properties that weren't hooked up, I should have, because what I took to keep my wells going just wasn't worth it. Would have been cheaper to just pay for the gallons used and do it like that. And on the sewer, for the month of October, our plant had a daily average flow of 104,000 gallons per day, which is 85% capacity, with a precipitation of 6.7 inches. And the building report I read off at the last meeting, so next meeting when I have the data for November, I'll read it all.
Thank you, sir. Just a point I want to make, our December meeting is the second Monday of December, and then the fourth Monday is Christmas. I don't think we'll meet on that day. So if we have anything to do between our first meeting and then we'll call a special meeting or see what we need to do. Okay, next on the agenda is the Peacedale Cemetery. We have a recommendation from Gary Boyce, the Highway Superintendent, that there's some restoration work that needs to be done. There are 17 monuments that have either fallen over or halfway fallen over. The scope of the work is to shim, level, or remove and report problematic foundations. Monuments that must be moved will be placed back in place. The total cost for the 17 monuments is $8,500. That money is in the reserve fund in the cemetery. So it's not taxpayer money, it's money that's been in the cemetery. So I'll ask for a motion, and this is Riley Landscaping and Excavating from Chester, New York. The gentleman that's doing this, Mr. Riley is a known cemetery caretaker in Chester and has much experience in this type of work. So I'll ask for a motion.
Motion?
Second.
In favor? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Justin, have you done anything on this easement for John Manalese, or do we have to say we want to do it?
Yeah, the latter, right? I assumed when you sent it on that it was likely, just like in the water projects and several projects around town over the years, sometimes we're putting infrastructure on private property. It's best practice, obviously, to have an easement in that case. One particular gentleman has written the board requesting that. I don't know that we've heard from other property owners, but with some of the storm-related repairs of town infrastructure, it did have to occur on certain private property, so easements are prudent. The only complication is getting a proper definition for the area impacted, right? The general language of the easement is fairly routine, and it's been used repeatedly in town, but getting an accurate description is beneficial both to the town and to the property owner.
I would just guess that in years past, got the pipe laid there, don't worry about it, it's fine. But this is the right, proper way to do it.
Correct.
Absolutely. So I'll ask for a motion for us to have Justin
Prepare this
prepare the
easement document.
easement documents and
Motion.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
So carried, thank you. Cherry Street improvements. We have a letter from Mr. McCarthy. Are we setting up a meeting for that?
Yeah, I believe you and I and the other side had confirmed for December 4th, but I don't know that we had heard definitively from the highway superintendent. I know if he's So I can reach out for him tomorrow morning, and
He asked me about it today, so I think he's ready to go whatever date we want.
okay, so I'll write a confirming email to Stephen Honan tomorrow morning, confirming the meeting. I believe you had told me your best date was December 4th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anybody else on the board who would like to go to this meeting? It's certainly,
What time is it at?
One other.
yeah, one other, I can't have two of you.
What time is it at?
We were going to do 9 a.m.?
I'll see if I can make it.
So, are you going, Richie, or?
I'm gonna plan on coming.
Okay, so then I can't use the other two of you because of the quorum.
That's fine. I'm not available on the Monday.
Dog pound. I'm not sure if at our last meeting, I read the letter, but I'll read it again, that this is a letter of warning. Failure to arrange for shelter services may result in further regulatory action. Your municipality will be contacted in approximately 30 days, determine compliance. Justin, why don't you read off from here?
Sure, I don't know that I brought a copy, but oh, I did. I did bring a copy.
You did, or did?
I did. So the supervisor responded to the Department of Agriculture and Markets. Dear Joyce, we are in receipt of your warning letter dated November 8th, 2023. Perhaps you are unaware, but on July 9th, 2023, the town of Highlands suffered a catastrophic storm event and has suffered millions of dollars in storm-related damages, including the complete destruction of our dog pound. To date, we have bonded $4 million for emergency repairs, including $54,000 for the reconstruction of a dog kennel. The town board anticipates that the reconstruction will be significantly more, but due to archaic bonding and local finance laws, the bond could not be taken for any more than $54,000. In 2024, we anticipate preparing bid documents and seeking a competent contractor for the dog kennel project. In the meantime, your letter failed to reference Section 115 of the Agriculture and Markets Law, which states, "No municipality shall be required to expend in any calendar year for dog control officer and pound or shelter services undertaken pursuant to this article an amount of money greater than it receives during such year pursuant to this article and any local law or ordinance enacted pursuant thereto." The town's average revenues for dog licensing is approximately $1,000, while the typical expenditures exceed $20,000. The town board is hopeful that we will be accorded the necessary time to recover from the catastrophic events of July 9th without further warnings. Sincerely, your supervisor, with copies to your elected state officials and relevant town officials.
Thank you. Any discussion on this or questions?
Wait to hear what they say, right?
Yeah, I have a resolution to re-levy water charges. What happened was, I think a day after or so that we levied water charges. Someone paid that we didn't know about, so we're subtracting that amount from the total amount of $80,447. So I'm good. Anything other explanation?
No, the county required the amended resolution to remove that one.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion to move the resolution.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilmember King,
Aye.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Aye.
Supervisor Leeson.
Aye. General public comment. Anybody have anything to say?
Actually, there was one thing I wanted to comment on the last record, but you didn't bring that up. That you didn't let me do that, but I'd like to do that. You had mentioned in the last meeting when for some reason my Mike was out.
Excuse me, we all know who you are, but maybe the people at home don't.
Oh,
If you
Joe
would-
Miller.
Yeah. For-
Okay, so there was a hospital bed discussion, and the woman was sitting in front of me, and I don't need recognition. I know some people like to tell you all they do every day and everything they do, but I didn't need recognition. So I gave the girl a piece of paper, I said, I have a hospital bed, call me. She called me. It's brand new. And I was gonna deliver it on that Friday, but I couldn't. So I called the town garage, but because nobody knew what I'd said, the last time I was here, they were not aware of it. So he said, I'm not getting involved, can't help you. Just want the public to know that's how important we are to them. You know, the guy said, can't do it. The secretary was wonderful, but the guy in charge of the garage didn't want nothing to do with it. So I had to put it at the Garrison House with the guy that bought the Garrison House, and he stored it, and he's gonna deliver it when it comes time to be sent there, because I couldn't store it. All right, now, on to today's stuff. First of all, with one of the biggest environmental impacted issues going, which was Roy Hannaway's property, and his son ignoring it for the entire time that he had his tenure here, why isn't he fired? This is huge, because if he let that slide, and he was handing out tickets to people all over, he should be fired. I know why. Probably not a good idea. There are more things. I can keep bringing them forward if you'd like. If he doesn't get fired, I'm going to bring back a few things that probably aren't going to go well, but I don't care. Obviously, you're learning I don't care. But anyway, then, Justin, I have to ask you a question, sir, and I do respect you. I didn't understand your position at one time. You worked for the town board. But Lankin and Tully called me. Why is Lankin and Tully acting as the building inspector? If he is not able to be the acting building inspector, you replace him with the building inspector to take care of his dad. You don't call Lankin and Tully. That's not their job. They are not a building inspector. That's one. Secondly, under whose authority were they told that they could act as a building inspector?
Mr. Miller, I think you would like to respond to that?
Go ahead.
Justin can take it forward. There are more than one municipality, there's many in Orange County, that use private sector CEOs and BSIs. Al Fusco is one of them, Lankin Tully is one of them, due in part because the civil service list is completely deficient of qualified people. And
Who approved it?
the town board did.
Are they allowed to do this?
Of course.
Okay, because I spoke to someone, they said that he should be a building inspector handling this.
So Lankin Tully has building inspectors on staff.
Okay. Now, also,
And just for the
No
note, Joe, too,
disrespect.
they were brought in because our building inspector was at a class for his licensing.
well, actually,
So-
no, our building inspector is the son of the guy
No,
who's,
that's a
without, he
different,
can't
no,
handle
stay on topic. You're talking about why Lankin Tully was brought in or asked
Okay, he
to
was
come
brought in
in.
because his son can't represent his father.
But he's
So
also,
that's your answer. Please clarify that to me. That's nuts. Okay. Justin, I do respect you, by the way. You were a good man. No disrespect. Now,
Joe, you used to say I was a good man at first. And the only thing when we had our confrontation in Fort Montgomery.
excuse me, but
No,
can I
excuse
finish
me,
my
sir.
thought later?
Let me finish. The only thing I said to you that day, when you put up your sign, which was completely
I think it was
erroneous,
100% correct.
well, I won't go into it because it
Okay,
wasn't.
that's fair.
But second, all I kept saying to you is, bring your proof to the table. And that disturbed you beyond no end.
No, Joe.
All I
talked to my
asked was
attorneys,
for
and I have to
proof.
start bringing stuff up, which I will do.
Anybody can stand up here
That's
and
true.
say anything they want, and we let people
But
talk.
I do have my documentation.
But there's a time where people are going to have to start asking, prove what you say.
And I will do that. I have no question. In fact, I was informed today to start giving you enough information to document what I'm doing, and I will be doing that. Yes, you're correct. Joe, thank you. No problem. So then my next question. Now, Lankin and Tully, after they got through this whole thing, they called me, we had a talk. A couple days later, they called me back and said, we're not touching this. We're not getting involved with this as a professional organization. We're not touching this. So they kicked it back to Justin. Now, Justin, no disrespect, but Justin works under the advisement of the council, the town board. Some of the people on the town board have known for years what Roy is doing. So I had an issue with an attorney a long time ago. He did 8 years in jail when he got done screwing with me. That's not you. But I do know what I'm doing, so I'm not playing. You're telling people that I'm a surveyor. You should probably find out more about what I do for a living.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That is not true.
I already, somebody
Joe,
told
that's a blatant lie, okay?
Okay,
That's
then
a
it's a
blatant
lie.
lie.
Okay,
A blatant lie.
that's great, Richie. And you're an honest man, so you would never lie. Okay. Now,
Joe, we're getting close to putting you down. I want you to know that right
but
now.
that's okay. So, now, do they influence your decisions with regards to Roy's handling of what's going on with him?
This is not a
Absolutely
question
not.
and answer
Okay.
period, Joe. This is not question and answers.
No,
This
because
is
I
you
asked him the
making a
question.
public, no questions. Public comment, that's all I'm going to take from you. If you can't do
Okay.
that, you
All
can
right,
sit
okay,
back
we
down.
got it, got it, I understand.
Yeah, you can sit back
Okay,
down.
all right, great, thank you.
Thank you.
The building inspector should be fired, though, because that's a liability for us. Because if he didn't go after his father, how can you not fire him? How can he have this job? And he gave other people violations, he gave other people stop work orders, and he let his father run for the entire time, his entire tenure. How can he still have a job? The liability to this community is crazy. Anybody can sue. Anybody can sue us, and he's still got a job. This is not right. Anybody that got a violation from him during the time he let his father slide can sue us. I'm a citizen. Those are my tax dollars. I want to know why he's not fired. I guess that's it. I've got 2 full books. I'm still stalled on 6 pages.
Anyone else, public comment?
Hi, my name is Michael Miller. I'm reading this on behalf of my father. As per my discussion at the village meeting, if the building inspector was representing his father's property for the time he was the inspector, up to the time Lankin and Tully stepped in, is that nepotism since he never issued a stop work order? And if not, why? Please provide a written response. Also, since again, I am not a lawyer, since this continued and there were many people in power in the town who knew of this, is this collusion? And if not, why? And can you provide this answer in writing? Third, since the building inspector was aware of this and continued to go after other people for the same reasons, or other reasons for that matter, is that targeting? And if not, why? And can you provide that answer in writing?
Anyone else, public comment? Olga?
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention, and the board probably already knows this, but the town of Highlands is being recognized by the Hudson Valley Regional Council next week at an awards dinner. They're getting the town, you guys, are getting what they're calling a commitment award. And the award is for exhibiting exceptional dedication and productivity in a demanding environment. The town received Clean Energy Communities designation this year and is rebuilding after horrific flooding this summer. And the town is ensuring that residents will rebuild right by undertaking a clean heating and cooling campaign. Just want to clarify that our committee has written a proposal to NYSERDA to conduct a clean heating and cooling campaign, which has been approved by NYSERDA. So we're going to start just to provide information to folks here about opportunities to, if they need to rebuild their heating systems, that there are clean energy options that are available, at substantial incentives. I just want to mention that there's 2 other local communities that are getting the award, and one is Orangetown and the other one is Rosendale. So the award ceremony is next Wednesday. If anybody wants to go, I think there's some tickets available. I'll be happy to pass that.
Thank you, Olga.
Thank you, Olga.
Anyone else, public comment? Tell the people at home who you are.
Alina Olivia, Highland Falls. I just would like to request that the board maybe have some more communication with the village board in scheduling meetings, that any additional meetings outside of the regular Monday meetings If we could not have them at the same time, I believe it was 3 weeks ago, the town budget meeting was the same day and same time as the village board meeting. So I would like to have the ability to attend everything.
Since we got out from under these budgets on every Monday night, you may have noticed, because I think you were at the village meeting, there were 3 of us at the village meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I anticipate, once we get past the new year, there'll be more communication between the town and the village.
That would be great.
And along with meeting, we have each other's emails and phone numbers. I notify them pretty frequently if there's something wrong in our water system, so we communicate, and it would be nice to have a joint meeting. I'd be very much obliged to that.
And maybe just, I'm getting messages in between every meeting at home, whether it's coming through or whether it's not. If we could figure out what's going on with the video system, the sound and the picture, the last couple of meetings have not been clear, so.
And before you sit down too, a lot of people don't realize this. As I mentioned, we were going to have a meeting and I can only have one council person meet with me because another one would be a quorum. So if the town and the village were to meet together as a group, it has to be advertised, and I think, how many days ahead of time? 10 days ahead of time? Or
Well, you
3
want to
days?
give fair notice, but it can be as
Fair
little
notice.
as 3.
So we can't just say, let's get together and meet. The quorum comes into it, and so even the village or the town, if we have more than 3 members of each board, we need to advertise the meeting, and it has to be public.
Okay, all right, that'd be great.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gary Lodge, live at 48 Row Ave. So the Town of Highlands Disaster Fund recently got an infusion of cash from the West Point AOG, so West Point AOG, thank you. So we have a little over $2,000 in the account now. The committee's going to try to meet next couple of weeks to review applications. I know there's like maybe 5 or 6 out there. I'm going to come see the town clerk tomorrow to pick up those applications. So there's still time to file for one if you want. So I know there's applications at the town hall and at the library. So I ask you that if you are in need, please go ahead and pick up an application, fill it out, and drop it off to either the library or the town hall. Let us take a look at your application. 9 times out of 10, we're going to review it and approve some sort of monetary donation. It'd probably be better, it'd be nice little Christmas gift ahead of the holidays. So that's it. Any questions? Let me know. Sit right here.
Gary, really quick, any parameters you want to shout out about this that would help
So
sway or?
Yes, sir. So it's the same parameters as before. So if everyone remembers the first wave of applications we did, you have to be a resident of the town of Highlands. That includes, of course, Highland Falls and Bear Mountain, West Point. I'm sorry, not West Point, because it's federal installation. It's up to a $400 application that you can request. If you did request some monies on the first wave and you only got, say, maybe 100 to 250, or if you got the full 400, nothing says you cannot come again and say, hey, I have more damage and this is what we discovered, and we will gladly take a look at the application and hopefully approve some sort of additional monies. So there's all kind of, there's I think 4, 5, or 6 parameters listed in the application itself. So if you think you meet the criteria, go ahead and submit, and we'll be happy to review it.
Appreciate it, Gary. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, public comment? I ask for a motion to go into executive session to discuss police matters.
Motion.
Second.
Favor?